guys, we're in Seattle today. We're, as in me, Lily, and my friend. We're meeting in person for the first time just today, but we are Twitter friends, and Heather has a book coming out in spring of 2018 from Razorbill.
Yes, Razorbill.
Yes. And it is called Nothing Left to Burn, and she's going to tell us more about it.
So this is my first time talking to a camera about my book, so I have my phone here so I don't spoil it. So Nothing Left to Burn, basically, it does follow Audrey, who's my protagonist, the day after she loses her virginity, and also the day that she's evacuated for a wildfire. Also throughout that day, in flashbacks, it's told in non-linear chronologically. I don't know.
No, you're doing really
oh my
good.
God.
You're doing
I have
really
a speech
great.
disorder. I will be saying this in every interview ever. It also follows her journey and looking back at the early days of her relationship with Brooks, who is a volunteer firefighter, extremely charismatic, yet also very scarred, and he is out in the fire that she was evacuated for, his first fire, which he's extremely excited about. And it's all about passion and obsession and first love and sexuality and fire. Lots and lots of fire.
Sexuality and fire. Like,
yeah.
That should be your tagline. That is so good.
Just right there. That should be on the book cover.
Yeah. That sounds so great. You did such a good job. And we're back. We definitely did not take a break to figure out what to talk about next.
Or for me to drink both coffee and water. Big gulps of both.
No, but now we are talking about Heather's journey.
My journey.
Yeah.
I wrote my first book when I was 13, 14, and I did my first big revision round when I was 14 and 15. I think I sent out my first official query while I was revising, which is a major no-no. So through my teenage years, that was like my main passion focus was queering and also visiting Colorado, which is a total aside note. I got a lot of close calls, a lot of full requests. Part of me is like, why that book was terrible. But I think all of those close calls really like made me be like, okay, I got that close, I can do this. 10 years later, at 24, that is when I sold my book, but when did I get my agent? In 2014. December 2014. I've never told this story. Again, this is my first time on camera and it's really exciting. But it was literally a 10-year journey in the query trenches. I did write another book between that time, and it's worth mentioning that my debut, Nothing Left to Burn, it is a rewrite, kind of alternate version for my main character of the first book I wrote. So just when I was about to completely trash it, when I was 21, I suddenly had the idea of bringing in fire and making Brooks, her boyfriend, a firefighter and completely, kind of overhauling the entire story. So I trashed it for the fourth time, and truly this time it really started from word zero and not just tried to rewrite the same story, which I think is kind of fun. And it's really strange because the one thing that has remained the same is Audrey, another side character, and he's Hayden. And my editor really loves Hayden, and I really love Hayden, and I hope you love Hayden too. But I hope you also love Brooks. It's a balance. So.
I love the fire.
And I hope you love the fire most of all, and Grace, and Audrey, and Maya, her sister, who was originally named Jill and was originally 1 year old, and is now 13, and she's awesome. Oh, there's also ballet, so that's fun. I like ballet. Yeah, there's a lot of cool things, fire and ballet. It's the perfect combination. Yeah, that was a long query journey. I did take about 2 years off to do my undergrad. Don't do your undergrad work in 2.5 years. That was exhausting. And I went back to it. So I think taking a few breaks, whether it was a few months or a year long, was important. But also just coming back to it and remembering that I wasn't writing for the publication. That was just kind of a side thing that I would perhaps get. And that I was writing for me, and that I feel like I'm a better person when I'm writing. I'm much more tolerable to be around, and I don't feel like I'm getting trapped. So that helps. I mean, if people ask me for advice, that's my biggest thing, is remember why you're writing, and that getting published is really just like a bonus. It's this really fantastic bonus that I'm still kind of comprehending as my reality.
100%.
It's a crazy world. It's a crazy industry.
Yes, definitely. Number one rule. If you want to be a writer, you need to learn to love writing, not publishing. Because publishing...
Yeah, and sometimes relearn how to love it.
Yeah.
Because I definitely hated it.
You'll definitely need to relearn. Every time I'm writing, I'm like, why do I do this? Why do I do this?
Yeah, one of the benefits of... Did you stop?
Nope.
Oh,
Still...
okay.
Oh, did you stop?
I was going to say, like, one of the benefits of my having started writing as a teenager when I was 14, I had no idea what anything like publishing entailed, was that it was so for me. And by 17, I was getting a bit jaded and getting a bit, this is too much, this is not gonna work. And then in my early 20s, the final like pitfall, I really did fall out of love with writing. I think even when Nothing Left to Burn went out on submission last spring, by that point when I was dying at acquisitions and barely gonna sell and it looked like there was no hope, and then hope came in. Even after selling Nothing Left to Burn, I had to fall back in love with writing, and that happened this past June, and it was the best thing. So I'm finally actually writing new stuff and have like 2 different work in progresses, and it's important. If you fall out of love with writing, just go back to it. Take a break, maybe.
Take a break and read her book.
Read so many books. Read my book.
Yep.
It's a fast read.
Spring 2018.
It's just one day. It's a really fast read. It's less than one day. It's like, I don't know, 15 hours. I'm not sure. I need to do the math because I keep saying 24 hours.
I'll link her information below. One thing I really love about coming to the bookstore and going down the young adult aisle is pointing out all of my friends on the shelves. I just feel at home walking amongst my friends' books.
What you're taking pictures for?
Even the music, it's like,
I feel really bad. I ended up messaging my goddaughter back after she sent me a little voice memo. She got her iPad for Christmas. But she started saying bathroom